time for another round of the Formula One World Championship. 4 rounds down, 11 more to go. This is round number 5. We're here at the Hungary, outside the capital city of the Hungarian Budapest. Actually, outside the Budapest capital, but we're here for round 5, the Hungarian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc starts on pole. Max Verstappen on the front row for the first time this season. Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader, starts 6th, his lowest start since his Mercedes days of last year. But it is round 5, the Hungarian Grand Prix. The start-finish line, 2 DRS zones, 14 turns, 34.6 of the elevation change. And then, of course, we know we are still using the old graphics to F1's 75th anniversary. But Jesse, what do we expect here for this race?
Well, I think we're going to be in for an exciting race. We know, like we saw, Charles Leclerc, he was quick in all the practice sessions and qualifying, but we got to keep our eye on our world championship leader of Lewis Hamilton. He hasn't had that pace compared into qualifying that he had in the both practice sessions. So I think we'll be in for a great race as well. Some exciting pit stops.
And now look at the starting grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix. At the back is going to be the Williams of Alex Albon with Nico Hülkenberg and the Sauber. Once again, Sauber still with no points. Will they go once again without a point until late in the second half of the season? Then it's Carlos Sainz and the other Williams with Gabriel Bortoleto along with the other Sauber. And then it's Pierre Gasly, 16th, the first time this season he's out in Q1 with Isaac Hadjar in 15th. And then it's Ollie Behrman in the HAAS with Yuki Tsunoda in his Racing Bull. They are sitting right now 5th in the Constructors. And then Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll. Of course, we got that battle for 7th. Then it's Jack Doohan and the other Alpine with the other Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso. And then Liam Lawson in 18th, his 8th, his worst starting grid. And then it was Oscar Piastri. Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader, 6th with Lando Norris. And then the front row of Max Verstappen, and 2nd in the World Drivers' Championship is Charles Leclerc. If he wins, he would retake the championship lead. He's only 7 points back. Lawson back by 36. Ferrari with a 91-point lead over Red Bull and McLaren. But here's a look now for P6. It's between Alpine, Aston Martin, Haas, Williams, and of course Sauber for the Constructors' Championship for P6, the big money. But here we go, the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it's one-sided, and away we go! And Charles Leclerc with another fantastic start is hand-in-hand of Max Verstappen, and then it's Oscar Piastri to P3, and George Russell and Kimi Antonelli and the big contact, but Charles Leclerc with a fantastic start with Max Verstappen 2nd, Oscar Piastri 3rd, Kimi Antonelli 4th, and then it's George Russell, but the World Championship leader of Lewis Hamilton has faltered down to 6th place. Charles Leclerc wants wider.
That's exactly what Charles Leclerc needed. He needed to get a good start compared to basically Gyros on softs and mediums. But he and Max Verstappen are on the hard tires. Oscar Piastri's only on the soft tires. Antonelli on the mediums with his teammate George Russell.
Right, so now it is Charles Leclerc leading the Hungarian Grand Prix ahead of Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and then it's George Russell, and then up in the 6th. Oh! Wow! Once again, Charles Leclerc with another sidewinder moment. And then 6th is going to go to Liam Lawson. Then 7th is going to be Fernando Alonso. Dropping back has been Lewis Hamilton to 9th. Lando Norris falls to 8th. Then 10th is going to be, I believe, Lance Stroll. And then is going to be, outside the top 10 is going to be Yuki Tsunoda in the Racing Bull. But now we've completed a lap, 9 more laps to go around the Hungary ring. There's now Charles Leclerc trying to pull away. 7/10, now 6/10 between the gap between he and Max Verstappen. But now, can these hard tires make it to the first pit stop of the race? Did Charles Leclerc kind of cook those tires where he went a little bit sideways? How far can these tires make it to the first pit stop? Does he have to pit early? Because I think he may have overcooked those tires once he got in that grass, which caused that car to go sideways.
I'm thinking he may have overcooked those tires, but I think those tires are still going to be okay to make it to lap 4. I mean, he's able to, gain back that 3-second lead, but now he just lost a little bit to Verstappen, who's still trying to keep that gap, as once again Charles runs a little bit wide. Is he overcooking himself? Is he putting a lot of pressure on himself, as well as him trying to become world champion this year? How far? Once again, Charles Leclerc has got to take it easy. If he doesn't take it easy, then I believe the world championship will slip through his fingers once again. It happened in 2022. It happened in last year's Grand Prix. And it also happened in 2023, where Ferrari just did not have the car to compete with the Red Bulls, the Mercedes, and the Aston Martins. But they are still finished third in 2023 in the Constructors. But still, is Charles Leclerc starting to pressure himself of the world championship that he's been looking for so many years?
Man, it's just, Charles Leclerc, I know he's second behind Lewis Hamilton, but it's still early in the race. We've only got 8 more laps to go. He's gonna have to take it easy. If he doesn't take it easy, then I believe you're probably right, Jess, that the Constructors' Championship and possibly the Drivers' Championship will slip through basically Ferrari and Leclerc's hands, as now Max Verstappen's able to gain a 10th back because of that mistake from Charles Leclerc once again. Can Leclerc just make it to lap 4 in the race? Let's go down to Santa. Santa, what is Ferrari saying to Charles?
But what they're telling Charles that he's basically just overpressuring, that he's just putting pressure on himself for that. If he's just putting pressure a lot on himself, and he just keeps telling the team that he needs to actually win the race. He wants to retake the championship lead that he lost in Monaco when he crashed his home race. But Ferrari telling Charles that he can't make these mistakes, or it's going to cost both him and Ferrari the championship, possibly third, if not even fifth. Now the Max Verstappen's going for it.
Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix, but Charles Leclerc fights back, and Charles Leclerc Verstappen touch as we get on the sideboard of Verstappen's Red Bull. As we saw, I think that's when Ocon and Isaac Hadjar come into the pits, but Max Verstappen nearly had the lead and almost took Red Bull back to pole in the win as Leclerc runs wide. Unbelievable! What a race this has so far been! But we have now made it to lap 4. Will Charles Leclerc pit? Will he stay out? But now Max Verstappen has now dropped to about 2.0 seconds now. I think the hole on the side pod is going to probably cost a little bit. Oscar Piastri still runs third, trying to gain on Max Verstappen, and Kimi Antonelli is running fourth. Really hasn't gained a lot on
Not again!
Once again makes another mistake. But as I was saying that Kimi Antonelli really hasn't made a lot ground on Oscar Piastri, but once again Charles Leclerc made another mistake, as once again he gets 2 tires in the grass. But Charles Leclerc really putting Ferrari a lot of pressure.
And came into the pits was actually, and then with Max Verstappen again to the race lead. But now Verstappen and Charles Leclerc repasses Max Verstappen. But now that will be under investigation, because it looked like Charles Leclerc overtook Max in the pits. We have seen that before, but that will be under investigation. Santa.
Jesse, Max and Charles both came into the pits, and now it looks like Ferrari going to go on the soft tires to go for the fastest lap. And it's a smooth stop for Ferrari, and it's kind of a slow stop for Red Bull, as now Ferrari are going to come out ahead of Max Verstappen. But actually came into the pits was Lewis Hamilton, the world championship leader. He came in on a set of hard compound tires. He's already saying that these hards are not the best tires at the moment. So Ferrari gets one charge around with Charles Leclerc. The other one with the worst tire on the car.
And that's really going to put Lewis Hamilton a lot of pressure now, because now with him being on the hard tires, we can see now a few, like I'm seeing like a Mercedes, an Aston Martin, even an Alpine on soft tires, even the HAAS of Ollie Behrman on soft tires. But now let's go back where Charles Leclerc runs fourth with, actually that's been Ocon on the soft tires. Behrman actually stayed out, my apologies. But now we gotta watch Charles Leclerc. We're gonna ride on board with him to see if he makes any mistakes. So far it is smooth and clean through these couple of corners. It's Charles Leclerc. So far it's nice and steady.
Oh, and once again, Charles Leclerc makes another mistake. With these mistakes, those soft tires are really now going to be hot. And now that's going to give at least Max Verstappen kind of the hopes of trying to cut down the lead once everyone cycles into the once everyone cycles in the pitch. We saw Alex Albon came in. I think Behrman, Sainz stays out. Came into the pitch was also Alex Albon, Lando Norris, George Russell came into the pit, Ollie Behrman and Carlos Sainz stay out, but another mistake by Charles Leclerc. Oscar Piastri comes out in 12th on those soft tires, and you can just see now the handling is starting to go on the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. But who hasn't paid yet is Gabriel Bortoleto, Nico Hulkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, and Ollie Behrman. Those are the only couple of more drivers who haven't pitted just yet. But Max Verstappen, 7.3 now, back behind the Ferrari. Oscar Piastri, 8.8 now, behind Max Verstappen, or actually behind Charles Leclerc. Where's Lewis Hamilton? Hamilton, the champion, the 7-time world champion, the new man at Ferrari, leading the championship still, is Mardo! Leclerc spins round! Charles Leclerc has spun round once again!
And coming into the pit is Liam Lawson, Lando Norris, Nico Hulkenberg, but Oliver Behrman, but Charles Leclerc has spun the car, but with him maintain to the Verstappen now 3. Now Verstappen 16 is now 5 point back after his spin. Charles Leclerc now has Max Verstappen right on him. Gabriel Bortoleto has not hit him yet, but unbelievable. Charles Leclerc spun around for the first time this season. Leclerc has made an error since the Monaco Grand Prix where he crashed under safety car conditions. This is only his second mistake this season, but unbelievable. But now Leclerc now 2.1 ahead. Unbelievable. What a mistake by Charles Leclerc.
Oh man, unbelievable. Charles Leclerc has spun around in that final corner, and since the drop of the lights out has still not used ERS, the energy recovery system, as now he is starting to gain a little bit on Carlos Sainz. He's starting to now have a 3.3 second advantage over Max Verstappen. That will be the battle for the lead once this all cycles out, but Gabriel Bortoleto will now be coming into the pits with Yuki Tsunoda. So Tsunoda for Racing Bulls comes in, Fernando Alonso comes in, Gabriel Bortoleto comes in, but staying out is Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz. So Stroll and Sainz stay out, and now this will shake up a lot for P6 in the Constructors' Championship, because Aston Martin move into P6 and Williams move up into P7. Alpine drop down to 8th, and then HAAS dropped down to 9th, but Sauber with no points still has still last, but a huge gain for Williams, huge gain for Aston Martin. But of course, Stroll and Carlos Sainz will need to pit. Only 3 more laps to go remaining here in the Hungarian Grand Prix, as now Max Verstappen 5.4 back now, Oscar Piastri 7.6, 7.8 now, a lot of points happening now with Oscar Piastri. He is now 8.7 back behind Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen, what now? 6.2. As now Carlos Sainz has his old teammate, his former teammate from last year, starting to gain up on him. But of course now, Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz will come into the pits. Stroll now comes into the pits, as now Carlos Sainz will now come into the pits, and Charles Leclerc is going to retake the lead in this race now with just 2 more laps to go. Charles Leclerc has about now a 7.6 second lead with Oscar Piastri 10.4 back. Andrea Kimi Antonelli 11.7 back. But Lance Stroll comes out in 5th place. Aston Martin with 28 points on the board, leaping Alpine for 6th in the constructors as Charles Leclerc goes a little bit wide. Let's go down to Santa. Santa, what are Ferrari telling Charles Leclerc?
Well, Joseph, what the telling Charles is that he's really overheating the tires, that his tires are starting to become overheated now after those mistakes. But a huge mistake so far in this race for Charles Leclerc.
And now you can take a look at the P6 battle between Aston Martin, Alpine, HAAS, Williams, and Sauber. Aston Martin 4 points ahead of Alpine, HAAS 11 back, and Williams 18 back. So Williams are still not.
Oh no, again!
There goes Charles Leclerc! Another mistake! This time, a huge mistake from the race leader!
Oh man, another mistake, and look what it's done. It has helped Max Verstappen a lot. He has cut it down now to 3, 2, 1 second. Actually 2.1 seconds. So Max Verstappen's catching Charles Leclerc.
So now, from this race on, Charles Leclerc can no longer make mistakes. Look at those tires. They are really up to tire temperatures. Extremely worn out. But now you can see the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. Charles Leclerc would retake the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton 15 back, and Kimi Antonelli will move back into P3, 46 back. But Ferrari with a big lead, 100 over Red Bull and 108 over McLaren. But now, Charles Leclerc just needs to survive. Oh, and again, another mistake! And it's really cost him this time because now Max Verstappen's really caught up to him now. The gap, 2.2, 2.1. Oh no, another mistake! And Max Verstappen's gonna be there! Max Verstappen, 4.3! Actually, 3 point something, 2 now. Max Verstappen, 2 points is the gap. Can he do it? Will Max Verstappen bring Red Bull back individually? Or will they have to wait until the Belgian Grand Prix? Max Verstappen only has 1 more shot. And that may be it for Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc has made so many mistakes in this race. Charles Leclerc has made so many mistakes in this race. 2 spins, and so far at least 4.5 spins. But he's held on to the lead. Verstappen, that is going to be it. Red Bull will have to wait to the Belgian Grand Prix. And Charles Leclerc wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. And he retakes the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen third, his first podium this season with Red Bull, and Oscar Piastri in third. It's Charles Leclerc who reigns supreme in Hungary. He wins ahead of Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Kimi Antonelli, Lance Stroll picking up Aston Martin's best finish, and for 6th in the Constructors' Championship, Russell 6th, Tsunoda 7th, Hamilton 8th, finishes 8th in Ferrari. Then it's Liam Lawson and Esteban Ocon for HAAS pick up a point. Then it's Lando Norris, Alonso. And of course, neither of the winners picked up points, or neither of the Alpines. And in the Drivers' Championship, it's Charles Leclerc who actually regains the lead in the Drivers' Championship. He retakes it. Hamilton second, and Ferrari with a big lead in the Constructors' Championship, 100 over Red Bull and 108 over McLaren. Well, that is it here in Hungary. We will see you in the Belgian. We'll see you in Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix. Goodbye, everyone.